And then, okay, I have checked several answer for short assignment 3. Okay, I know you are trying so hard to ensure that the similarity um, okay, the recent one revised to 15%. Okay, but the thing is, you you are so desperate until you change the arrangement of the words inside whatever the sentence that you refer to or the sentence that you are copied from the internet, uh, and the sounds of your sentence is really strange. Okay, you change the word by it's something really ridiculous. Uh, for example, it's very difficult. Okay, for example, when one of the student choose materials that saying the properties of the materials is having a certain melting temperature. Okay, and then uh, I know where the sentence is being copied from, but it does not appear in the Turnitin. Okay, it does not appear in the Turnitin because he or she just simply find a similarity of that words. Okay, or they just change to whatsoever words. For example, he choose one materials, and I found out exactly where it's being copied from. And for example, one of the properties mentioned that this material have a relatively higher temperature. Okay, higher temperature, relatively higher temperature. Okay. However, he changed the words relatively higher temperature to appropriate temperature. Okay, which is does not give any engineering meanings. Okay, appropriate temperature. What does it mean? We are talking about comparing mechanical properties or other properties, but you mentioned appropriate. Okay, which is wrong. Okay, um, so you must think really critically because in this type of test, it is a really test your ability to give a solution into uh, any complex engineering problem. Okay, that's your job. You have about 2 years to graduate. Okay, 2 years, and you need to learn how to critically think about a solution to solve the problem. Now let's get back to your assignment. Okay, so that's the reason we suggest in this guideline for the number 2, revise the grammatical error before submitting the task. Okay, so that you can quickly check the grammatical error by using, for example, like this software, which is Grammarly official site. Okay, Grammarly is one of the tools that can be used. Online editor, grammar checker. Okay, you can find any. Of course, you are not good in English, but you can only use only English for this assignment, or I'm sorry, for this test. Okay, so that we can check the similarity. All right, number 3, separate the answer and references text. Okay, in the rubrics, I will show to you the rubrics for evaluations. We include reference. I'm sorry, last time during the assignment, I did not mention this. Okay, but after looking at the short assignment that you have completed. Of course, I did not finalize if you do not include the list of reference in your assignment. It's okay. Okay, but for test 1, you must include a reference list. Okay, so you need to learn how to write reference. Okay, and you need to learn how to refer to a correct reference. Okay, do not rely on the website that's selling metal, selling products, selling material, raw material, selling their service, promote their service. That one uh, is not scientifically correct. Okay, whatever the information published. Right. Okay. The last, is it clear for number one and number two? Number one, you need to read the instruction carefully. Number two, you need to revise your grammar. Number three, yes, for the reference, you need to separate the answer and reference um, uh, during the trial submission to check the similarity first. Okay. And then if the similarity index of answer text only is lower than 50%, then submit the answer with the reference. Normally, the similarity index are higher with reference text because it is easily to be detected by turning in, and maybe your friend also write the same. And there are so many other journals available online, published online, that are using the exact same words for the citation. They cannot change it anyway. All right. So number three, for similarity checking, make sure you check the reference first, and then resubmit including the reference list. Okay, there is a mark for reference. That's the reason you need to do that. Okay, do not copy paste from any resources. Okay, if you copy paste like this, for example, it is shows a similarity 36% from one resource only. What is it? Internet source. Okay, internet source. Um, for this, all right. So this is so obvious. It's one line sentence exactly similar. Okay, this is a very poor submission, so you won't get a good mark for that. Maybe 0 mark, total 0 marks. Okay, answering the question without proper data and okay, I'm sorry, correct. Of course, you won't receive a 0 mark for this, but uh, yeah, it is just a step to get full mark. Why don't you write based on what your understanding on the context? Okay. Without proper data and resources. Okay, this is what I observed in your assignment. Okay, you just compare larger, smaller, and then, for example, like this, you found it is a large amorphous region, and then this is what you found from the internet. You just change large to another words. Okay, this is not a proper way to discuss on the for the discussion. Okay, you are given an opportunity to search the information from any resources. So why not you include the data? Okay, for example, um, for example, okay, last answer from the student. They've just mentioned it has um, appropriate temperature. Okay, uh, why not include that temperature? Okay, for example, let's say, okay, all right, okay. For example, he answered appropriate temperature. The material has appropriate temperature. Okay, the original temperature I found from the reference is relatively higher temperature. Why it mentioned relatively high temperature? Because their materials has very higher melting temperature. Melting. Okay, why the resource mentioned about relatively high temperature? Because that material is actually has a very low melting temperature, but when it's being improved compared to other similar category material, it has relatively higher material compared to the other similar class of metal or materials. Okay, so but appropriate is not reflects to this actual facts. Okay, what you can do, because this is very general, what we call it, general information. Okay, let's say you are comparing with aluminum. Your assignment is aluminum. Okay, melting temperature is about I don't remember, 760 degrees Celsius. You can find this information. In fact, you can find the melting temperature for aluminum in the internet. Okay, so now you get these chances to really practice your knowledge. Okay, because if it is face-to-face exam, you are unable to get this information. Okay, you are unable to really apply your knowledge. Okay, related to solving the engineering problem. It is highly depends on your understanding and your ability to memorize. But for this case, you search the information. What is melting temperature for aluminum and your new materials? Okay, your new materials. You find what is the melting temperature and compare. You can say that these materials relatively similar or slightly lower than aluminum. Okay, and if it is lower, what is the advantage? Okay, advantage because it is a lower energy for processing. Okay, to cast. Okay, remember aluminiums. You when you extract from the bauxite, okay, it requires several processes that really produce high carbon footprint. So it's harmful to the environment. So when we find new material that's having lower melting temperature than aluminum, that means the processing to produce product from this material is better because it's use less energy. Okay, so that's it. Meaning that in this point number 3, okay, right, give some numbers that shows data, concrete data. Okay, all right, so data and resources. Okay, so give us some what is so wrong article. Okay, so does it do and don'ts to answer your test 1? Okay, for example, like this, you can include this figure. Okay, you can include this figure, but okay, you cannot assume that we read information from here as part of the answer. Okay, let's say there are some I don't know, some information that you expect us to evaluate inside other than the image itself. Because okay, what I'm trying to say. Okay, make sure the image is just an image, not this this as an image. Okay, this sentence, it must be as a text, not an image. Okay, for example, you letak satu gambar kat sini, dalam tu semua ada karangan, perengai-perengai yang macam ni dalam bentuk image dalam you punya words file tu. Okay, tu tak cik lah. It's not the right method. Okay, what else? So, okay, any question from you?
Yes,
I
Doctor.
will discuss the answer. I will discuss the answer for short assignment. Don't worry.
Doktor, nak tanya.
Yes.
How about reference, Doktor?
Yes, silakan.
Reference
Kenapa?
tu untuk yang maksudnya kalau kita nak submit dekat Turnitin tu tak perlu compile sekali dengan reference ya?
Masa final submission saja you boleh hantar. Masa you nak check similarity tu, you tak perlu hantar. Sebab nanti saya boleh exclude sendiri. Maksudnya you nak tahu, sebab saya boleh exclude apa yang I can exclude myself the similarity related to the reference. Okay, I can exclude, then I know how many percent actually your answer has a similarity value, right? But you, I think you cannot exclude any similarity value, right? Can you exclude any, for example, like this, there are some similarity lists. You can exclude this one, so that the value can be reduced less than 15%. Can you? Can you exclude this? No,
Cannot.
right? Cannot. So I can do that, right? I can do that. So so that's the reason in this instruction. First, to ensure that your answer is less than 15%, you need to check without this. Later, if it's okay, then you can include this for final submission.
Doctor, how many submission are allowable?
There's no limit, I think, as long as within the time frame.
Thank you.
Okay.
So
So
untuk final
do
submission,
not wait until the last minute. Do not wait until last minute because you will encounter unexpected problem. So try to quickly finish your assignment and frequently check before the within the time limits. Okay. Yes, I'm sorry.
untuk final submission dekat e-learning ada tu?
Tak adalah, dekat sini lah juga.
Dekat, oh, maksudnya final submission dengan mula-mula tu kena hantar kat turning in tanpa without reference. Lepas tu final submission pun hantar dekat turning in juga lah tu, macam tu.
Ya. You kan
Oh.
boleh resubmit banyak kali kan? Dah try dah?
Okay.
Short assignment 3.
Dah hantar dah.
Dah. Macam tu kan? Lepas tu bila dah deadline, you tak boleh resubmit kan? You first time ke? You first
Apa?
time ke?
Tak,
First time
dah
buat
hantar.
macam ni?
First time ke? Tak, dah sebelum ni dah pernah pakai
subjek
dah.
lain dah?
Turning in, sebelum ni dah pernah pakai dah turning in.
Okay.
So tu untuk yang reference tu format macam biasa lah tu APA Okay, baik tu. Terima kasih.
I hope this is not first time for you to write reference because for the lab 1, lab 2, when you write a full report, you need to write a reference, right? For lab 1, lab 2, Mama 1, Mama 2, dah ambil dah? Oh, lab 1 baru nak ambil kan? Okay, dah ada full report dah lab 1 sekarang. Ke tak letak reference bila you buat full report?
So far baru short report tu. Baru short report, doktor.
Minggu depan dengan saya. So minggu depan kita akan jumpa lah untuk sains bahan buat report. Tapi tak pasti full report ke short report. Saya pun tak ingat. Nanti saya semak balik dengan technician. Okay. So a format to write a reference. I think I'm not really strict to follow the UTM guideline as long as you know how to write a reference, whatever the format is okay. But please refer to UTM thesis format. Okay. What is the reference type? And please make sure you know there is a different types of reference, how to write a citation for the bibliography. Okay. So ada lain soalan? Any other question? I think for today we discuss on this only, and then and the rubrics. And tomorrow during the tutorial class, I will discuss with you on the short assignment 3. Okay. All right. Next is the rubric. Mana rubrics? You are not valid for solving any engineering problem. Okay. So writing skill, there are portion mark for that, but you need to always improve your writing skill because at the end of this program, you need to publish a book. Okay, publish a book which is your thesis. So imagine you are going to carry this thesis and show to your children what happened if they saw very poor writing, that their mom write thesis poorly, yet they get the degree. So writing skill need to always be improved. That's the reason we put a little weightage on this. We need to evaluate anyhow, right? And number 2, the presentation presented facts and data. All right. Okay. No resources referred, wrong data, copy paste from others, 0 to 10. Of course, as long as you write something, you don't get 0. Okay. But when we talk about very poor copy paste, that one is as maximum they can get is only 10 marks. Okay, out of 40. Right. Uncertain resource referred. Is a moderate. A good is simple or all data resource. Excellent is most current data resource. So for when we talk about good and excellent, all right, both are correct facts. But if you can integrate recent knowledge, okay, for example, you choose a material which is freshly engineered or newly engineered material, for example, not just alloy, but alloy for smart material or whatsoever. It is considered a new one, so we can give you excellent mark. Okay, and you to get that you need to refer to the most current data resource. Okay, journal, you look at journal, don't refer to journal 1970, 1950. That one you can get a new information. But if you refer to journal for example the last 10 years, I believe you can get the best answer for your test. Okay, and then recommendation, analysis, and explanation strength. If you don't have it at all, so you get 0. No proper recommendation analysis, that correct answer it is moderate. And for the good and excellent we justify like this. All right, if you give one answer, you are good. Okay, one correct answer. But if you give a correct answer with more than one resources, okay, or more than one suggestion, right? So you will get excellent mark. Okay. I'm sorry if yesterday one of you text me about some answer, and I give several answer, and he asked me, do he need to give all answer or just one answer? I think you should not ask like that, because it is for you, right? It's not for me. Okay. If I give you instruction to give possible solution, you should be able to think which one is best. Give only one solution, or one possible solution, or multiple possible solution, because it is a possible solution. So if sorry, not solution, reason. Okay, so if you're really critically thinking about something, you may find several answers. Okay, for example, in that case, he mentioned about how the materials is being strengthened. Okay, different sleep system, sleep behavior, even though for similar FCCs microstructure, crystal structure, one is very soft, one is very hard. Okay, both having same FCC structure. But remember, for pure metal, FCC has a 12 chip system, because it has only 12. It has only one element inside. Okay, but when we talk about alloy, okay, it is not behave as similar as pure metal, even though it has a similar FCC microstructure. All right. So remember, in the alloy we have alloying elements. All right. Now that one is of course give a different mechanical properties. All right. Beside that, maybe the grain structure is different, so that one will improve the mechanical properties, even though both having same FCC structure. So in this rubric, you can see that if I give only one correct answer, I get a good mark. But if I give several suggestions, okay, of course, from more than one resources, you can get excellent mark. Okay. So the analysis, for example, let's say you have several reason answer. For example, one is because of alloying element. Two is grains refinement. 3 maybe heat treatment. Okay, like a precipitation, something like that. So these 3 are different. You can, if you can explain this very detailed for 3, okay, more than one, then you can get excellent marks for this discussion and recommendation. Okay, and then the references is 10 marks. Okay, insufficient or no related content, just copy and paste any references is not correct. Insufficient but related content is okay. Moderate. Sufficient and related with the content is a good. Insufficient, maybe 1 or 2 reference. I think it's not sufficient. Okay, most reliable and recent data, you can consider outstanding, and you will get full mark for that. Okay, so this is test, open-ended question. So the problem is only one, not that the question is only not one. That each problem for each question is stated only one problem. So you need to think how to solve this problem. Okay. So tomorrow we still have time to discuss on example for the example question for test 1, which is we did on the short assignment 3. So during tomorrow's class, I will discuss in details how you should answer the question, or I will show with you how I marking your submitted assignment. Okay, of course you don't receive the written marks by tomorrow, okay, because it takes time for me to examine each of your assignment. But from the discussion tomorrow, you should be able to understand how to answer your test 1. Okay, I think that's all for today. Do you have any question before we end our meeting today? Ada soalan tak?
Ada.
Ya.
Dia yang jawab jawapan tu yang kamu masih dihadkan untuk satu page ke? Untuk satu page ke? Yang answer tu. Answer tu must only be in one page ke?
Tak. Tak semestinya.
Ya.
Assignment saya itu sebenarnya sebenarnya silap sikit lah. One page tu not necessarily one page sebenarnya. Sebabnya senang saya nak tanda dalam satu. Kalau you have more than, if you have more than more than 1 pages, you can always reduce the size of your font. Okay, easy for me to mark in 1 pages actually, but it's okay. It's not limit for the assignment. Not limit.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay.